So this is the Osmo Pocket 3. The Osmo Pocket 3 is a game changer for you. So hi everyone, my name is Benjamin Katesook and today I'm reviewing the Osmo Pocket 3. This is DJI's latest pocket-sized 1-inch sensor camera with an inbuilt gimbal, which was released in October 2023. I know I'm late to the party. I got it start of this year, so January 2025, but is still so good and is still such an incredible camera. So I'll dive into like key features and sort of real world performance. I'll show some footage that I've gotten from it, some pros and cons, and whether it's worth your money and investment. So some of the specs: it packs a 1-inch CMOS sensor and can shoot up to 4K 120 frames per second. Also features a 2-inch OLED touchscreen and supports 10-bit D-Log-M and HLG, upgraded from the Pocket 2. It allows you to shoot D-Log-M, which you can then have a lot more flexibility post-process with color grading the videos instead of using auto and shooting in auto where you have a bit of a limitation with the colors and stuff post-processing. The inbuilt stabilization is insane. It's a 3-axis mechanical gimbal, and this makes footage ultra smooth. It is so smooth. And if you get the creator bundle, it adds a battery grip, wide angle lens, a mic, a case for it, and a tripod, as mentioned before, and also the receiver extender. I think that's what it's called. It's literally the whole kit in one. It's really all you need to start. So some real world performance, stabilization side of things. So stabilization, walking shots are super silky. The gimbal eliminates the typical handshake when you're walking, although really fast up and down movements will show as like a bounce sort of footage, and I'll get some footage for that just so you can see what I'm talking about. But that's super smooth still. But if I do that, it's smooth, but that is a bit bouncy, but it's still smooth. So low light quality in terms of shooting in low light, thanks to the 1-inch sensor that's on it. The footage remains sharp up to about ISO 6400 with very good dynamic range as well. That's another feature I haven't covered. So another feature I haven't covered is the tracking mode. So ActiveTrack 6.0 reliably follows subject, even through complex motions. It will recognize my face and it will follow my face around, even if I'm moving around. Video capabilities. So we've got 4K recording at 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second in slow-mo mode. And both modes are slick as. However, one of the few downsides is when you do use the digital zoom on the Osmo, it does degrade the quality. However, in my opinion, I never use that digital zoom. Like if I wanted something to zoom, I'd use my camera to shoot and put a zoom lens on it. The Osmo is pretty much something that I would treat with effectively a prime lens. So like if you're shooting with a camera with a prime lens, then you have a fixated focal length. So then you just move your body to account for that. That would be an incredible improvement from DJI though, if they did make some sort of zoom function that was mechanical on the Osmo Pocket 4 or whatever they're going to release next. That'd be awesome. Audio quality, the built-in mics. Even without this mic, you can record audio with the built-in mic for the Osmo. And the quality is honestly surprising. Like it is still so good. I'll get a video of me recording from the Osmo and then me recording from the mic as well, to see what to sort of portray the differences. So this is me talking to the Osmo without the DJI Mini 2 mic. And this is me talking into the Osmo using the DJI Mini 2 mic. Obviously, if you do want better quality, use the mic use the DJI mic 2 that comes with it because it improves the audio significantly. However, if you are sort of in a rush and you've forgotten a mic, the mic on here will suffice. So let's talk about the pros and cons. Pros: amazing pocket sized camera, literally can fit in your pocket. Hence why it's called the Osmo Pocket, I guess. And it is incredible for stabilization for something that can fit in your pocket as well. You don't have to carry around this bulky camera and then a bulky mechanical gimbal to use the camera on. So it's literally something that just fits in your pocket and is good to go. It's perfect for traveling. We used it, or I've used it for many of our trips, and it is such a good device for traveling. Another pro is it is excellent in low light, and with its 4K video capability, it shoots smooth, crisp video footage. The ActiveTrack is awesome, and that's the other thing I haven't mentioned. So it can shoot horizontal like that, but if you twist it, wrong way, like that, you can shoot vertically as well. The only downside to that is that it downgrades to 3K. That's, I don't know why, but for some reason, when you shoot vertical, the maximum is 3K footage, but is still so good. Yeah, but you can shoot vertical, you can shoot horizontal. It's honestly overpowered. So yeah, that gives you options of like what you want to shoot. If you want to shoot vertical for Instagram, TikTok, or if you want to shoot horizontal for YouTube or any other platforms, you have that option there. It does have 10-bit color, and the accessories that come with it support it so well for, as I mentioned before, the mic, the battery. So this is the battery extender. I think it extends the battery by about 30% or something like that. I can't remember the exact figure, but tripod, game changer. The things I would recommend the most to get if you were to get one as well is either get a protective case for it or a magnet case like this. I could potentially get another protective case for it as well, and then also get one of these sort of covers as well, because the cover that comes with it literally just slides in and just sits there. It's not fully enclosed, so I was a bit paranoid when I was carrying it around with that. So I got this, and it's a lot more protective for the mechanical gimbal for sure. And that's probably the most fragile part. And that sort of brings me to the cons. So the cons for the Osmo Pocket 3, as mentioned, it is very fragile as well. So the Osmo Pocket 3 is a fragile piece of equipment. Like, it's not an action camera. I would treat it as you would treat it a like DSLR or a mirrorless camera, as well as a gimbal, because this mechanical gimbal is super fragile. If you do accidentally drop it, or if you do accidentally knock it hard on something, it is probably going to break. The screen as well, as much as it's awesome to flip that out, you can imagine that that's a really weak spot as well. It's a very thin screen, and is probably held on by not too much. So obviously you want to avoid dropping it. I would be treating it like a baby still, and get as much protective gear as you can for it. I got a screen protector for this as well, because I'm paranoid. I screen protect everything. Another con to it is the budget side of things. It is a premium price to pay for a piece of equipment, but it is a solid investment. As I mentioned before, it is something that you can take everywhere. You can take traveling and restaurants and all that, and it gets you started with vlogging very easily. That barrier to entry has decreased so much because of this Osmo Pocket 3. And if you were to go out and get a vlogging camera, you're probably looking at like 1,000 minimum anyway. So you could either spend 1,000 on just a camera and a kit lens, or you can spend 1,000 on the Osmo and its kit and then have everything ready to go. Whereas, for example, like I've got a Sony A6400, which I bought probably a month ago now, but I still don't have like a microphone for it, and I want to get a case for it. There's a lot of things I want to get for it. So there's still those extra things that you got to buy on top of a camera to be ready to shoot properly. As I mentioned, it is a fragile piece of equipment. And another thing on top of that, obviously, it isn't waterproof either. So you want to avoid any sprays of water, splashing of water, especially if it's salt water, that's just going to rust, and any sort of weather damage as well. So rain, etc. You're probably not going to be able to shoot too much unless you get some sort of waterproofing case for it. There isn't much weather sealing, so I would be careful when you are doing that because it is a piece of electronic equipment, and obviously they don't go together with water, and being such a fragile piece of equipment and pretty pricey as well, that's something I would be very cautious about. Another con, not so much for myself really. I feel like it's a perfect size, but the screen may be too small for certain people. And like I mentioned before, the vertical footage can only be shot up to 3K and not the 4K option as well. So that's potentially something that could be improved for the next camera as well, DJI. And as mentioned before as well, that slight gimbal bounce when running. Obviously, it's a big motion to try minimize. So it's not perfect at it, but honestly, from using it, I'm pretty happy with the way it does handle sort of running and walking and all that jazz. So who's this great for? So this is great for solo vloggers, travelers, content creators, people who want to get into videography, cinematography, and want somewhat of a high end outcome and result without having to lug around a lot of gear and equipment. So, perfect for traveling when you have limited weight and luggage that you can take. Who might want something else that isn't the Osmo Pocket? If you need something rugged, waterproof, or with something like a larger display, I would probably recommend an action camera if you're wanting to do some sort of action sports, or, for example, going to shoot in wetter areas like waterfalls and shooting in the rain, etc. This camera is not for it, but also those sorts of conditions you do require the more rugged waterproof camera varieties, sort of like the action cams, like the GoPros, the Osmo Action Cam, and Insta360 variants. Yeah, that's sort of like another case. And for me, for example, I've got the Osmo Pocket now, and I've also got multiple GoPros. But honestly, I think I'm going to upgrade to the Action Cam 5, the Osmo Action Cam 5, because I've seen so many good things about it. And that would be something that I carry around as a more rugged waterproof thing, as long with my Osmo Pocket as well. So my verdict of the Osmo Pocket 3. The Osmo Pocket 3 is beautiful. It is a beautifully compact powerhouse of a camera that offers so much flexibility and so little resistance to start vlogging and start content creation. The stabilization is a game changer. It performs well in low light, and the ease of use of it, as well as coming with some sort of high quality audio gear as well in the creator combo, it is unmatched at the moment in terms of its features. It is so versatile, and it is just something that I would recommend for every creator's kit. Yes, it is a big investment, but if portability and video quality is huge for you and a top priority, then this deserves a serious consideration, in my opinion. If this review did help, don't forget to hit that like button below. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, and drop any questions in the comments below. Happy to answer them, and I'll go through every single comment and reply. I'd love to maximize your use of Osmo Pocket 3 And hopefully, if you do invest in it, it is an incredible investment for you as well, as it has been for the last 8 months for me. Thanks for watching. Hopefully, this has helped. See you in the next video. BK out. Peace.